Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric the Brown, your episode of Nerd News, and I'm just gonna kick it off with some of the stuff throughout the week. Some of the stuff did come out a little earlier. If you missed my reactions to the Black Ops 4 reveal event, I'll put that video up. That's up. I'm actually put a link down there so guys can check that out to hear my thoughts on that. So I also said something about the Battlefield 4, Battlefield 5 actually, reveal that they're going to be doing later, and that's actually the 23rd. So I'm going to check that out and give you my thoughts on that too. Hopefully it did better than what myself I thought for. But in Xbox news, Xbox Live was actually down today. So if you had a hard time getting on Xbox Live, no, it wasn't your internet connection. It actually was down with the early access to State of Decay 2. So the thing is, like I saw, they had a reveal on Insider Xbox episode showing off State of Decay and the early access and everything. But State of Decay looks really good. It looks really polished. It looks really open world and something you can do with your friends and stuff like that. More so than I think Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is more. I mean, it's more fun and just that and the other with your friends. But I kind of like the State of Decay thing, where it kind of like, if we're gonna keep having zombie games, because apparently they're not going anywhere, and apparently there's just a big need for zombie games. We're gonna I like it to be like this, where it's open world. It's kind of like The Walking Dead, where like the group is trying to survive basically. So I like the feel of it, and I like the going through to like, oh well, how do you survive day to day. But anyway, Xbox Live was down. It's not your fault, not your internet's fault. So don't be calling Comcast or Verizon yelling at them about your internet connection. But they and in all honesty, like I'm glad State of Decay is looking good, because Xbox needs an exclusive that's gonna bring people to their system. And I think this is gonna bring a lot of people. A lot of people love the zombie genre, so like I think this is gonna bring a lot of people to their system, because they haven't been doing too well in sales. They've been kind of dragging behind everybody else. I mean, Nintendo Switch is killing it. It's hard to even put Nintendo Switch in a class of these same systems, because it's so different from anything else anybody's ever played before. Console experience on a tablet, basically. The PlayStation is doing great. Like, it always has this great exclusives. Like, it just dropped God of War. God of War is getting crazy reviews. People are loving it, and I haven't finished it. I'm gonna put my review up and what I think about it, but I'm almost done. So I just hope Xbox pulls through, because like to be honest with you, like I still remember the days of the 360, and I was just like, man, like they had it then, they had it, and they were just kicking out games, and it just seems like it was never gonna end, where they were just putting out great games after great games after great games. And then like they haven't had anything exclusive aside from like the Horizon, their first party stuff. Horizon has been great, but like the action, the RPGs, the shooters have all been stuff that is all systems. So like, it's like you can get it somewhere else. Why buy an Xbox? And then like the big thing last year was the whole Xbox One X, where it's like people didn't really understand, is that a new system, or is that like the same system but like with different graphics, So like it basically, that's what it is. It's the same system with more powerful graphics, but then it's like you're not actually creating games for that system. You're just upping the resolution in which they play and how fast they play. So a normal game would play at 30 frames per second. This one would play at 60, and it would up it to 4K. So I mean, that's well and all good, but if you don't have a 4K TV, you can't utilize the actual system. So it got, it became a gray area, and it's like, if you have a system that's this powerful, why not make games that work with that system? And that's the thing that's a lot of people are running into, where it's like, well, I don't understand. Like, the system costs this much money, and I don't have a 4K TV. Blah 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 blah. So hopefully this is something good for them, and well, not the down part, the actual state of decay part. But in other news, going from Xbox to movies real quick, Monster Hunter, the movie got a budget of $60 million. Yeah, I mean, $60 million is a decent amount. I'm not like crapping on it, because the next movie I'm going to mention, its predecessor had a $60 million budget and it did amazingly. So, but $60 million on a movie that is supposed to be as big as Monster Hunter is a little low. Which makes me believe that like whoever is writing needs to have originality. Because if the CG is not going to be there, then they need the characters to be there, which is hard because the characters on Monster Hunter are just created characters. Like, there's no, I don't think they even talk. So, well, I don't know. I haven't played Monster Hunter World yet, but all the other Monster Hunters I played, like, none of the characters really talked. It was basically like you going out, hunting down monsters, getting cool gear, swords, and going out and doing the same thing, cooking, eating, RPG and online, a mass multiplayer, you know. But like I don't get this, why they're actually making this movie. Like, I know Monster Hunter Worlds was released, but like it's Monster Hunter really was that a need? Was the movie really a need for people to be like, yeah, I need that Monster Hunter movie, man? I know a lot of people were like, yeah, I need that Halo movie, but then Halo kind of fell off, so like the hype for that wouldn't be as big anymore. I mean, I would still go see it, but like after 4 and 5, it was just Halo kind of took a dive because it didn't have the originality that it did before, and like I'm not saying 343 Studios is bad. It's just they weren't as they're not as gifted in making games as Bungie was, and even Bungie now is having a hard time with Destiny 2. So maybe they lost the juice too. So I mean, nothing bad. Like I love Destiny, so like I want it to succeed. Like, I still play Destiny 2. I was playing it earlier, and I just finished the Warmind thing, what I'll get to later. But 60 million is not a whole bunch. It's a decent amount. I'm not gonna say it's a decent amount to make a movie, but the movie the size of Monster Hunter is not. It's not something the size of Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is something on the scale of like Lord of the Rings size, and they're making something more of TV sized. So, like I was talking about, Deadpool 2 opened to 125 million, so it did great. It came in second as all-time openings, right behind the first Deadpool. So literally, first and second place goes to Deadpool for R-rated movies. So for R-rated movies, Deadpool is number 1 and number 2. And I think number 3 goes to It, the one that came out in like last September. It was really good. But yeah, that's good. Deadpool opened at 125 million. That's a lot of money. And that movie was the reviews are out the window. So I'll put up a review later if anybody wants to hear it about the movie when I see it. But yeah, I'm glad it did good because I loved the first Deadpool movie. I love Deadpool comic books. I love that Ryan Reynolds worked so hard to get that movie done. Both of those movies, you know, he's been putting time and effort, and like, man, he's been like, it was his baby, it was his dream. So I'm glad he's getting a lot of payback, and the marketing for all his Deadpool movies are always amazing. So thanks for that one. So Fortnite's going to be coming to Android this summer, they say. So and also another leak says Fortnite will be coming to Nintendo Switch. So that's something I was like, yes, yes, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest Fortnite player, but on my Switch, I would probably play it because like just the gaming on the go appeals to me. Like the fact that I can take it to work and be like, yeah, let me play a quick game. And Battle Royale is something that's like I talk about Battle Royale on the Black Ops video, but like I'm not the biggest Battle Royale player, but I got nothing against it. Like I see Battle Royale as something that's always a subdivision of a game. You know what I mean? Like you got like your multiplayer part, and then you got like multiplayer like King of the Hill and stuff like that, and like Halo had a Battle Royale part, but I don't understand why Battle Royale is so big now. Like that's a new thing, because it's like, oh, we get you one game that's all Battle Royale, and then it's just like, okay, like there were games that had Battle Royale built into it. That's why I don't understand why they had Battle Royale game modes. So that's why I don't understand why Battle Royale is so big. But like I played Fortnite, but I'm not a big fan. I played PUBG. I'm not a fan of that either. So coming to the Switch, yeah, I'm always a fan of stuff coming to the Switch because I'll play a lot on the go. I'm never really in one place all the time, so good. So, and other zombie news, Days Gone, which was that game that showed, I think it was like 4 E3s ago, about 3 years ago, about, you know, the zombie hordes and stuff like that. So the developer was addressing why the delay, you know, and they kind of beat around the bush and like, yo, you know, it got pushed back to 2019, so he was just kind of beating around the bush like, yeah, you know, I wanted to address some things, and then like we didn't want to like there was basically like God of War's killing it right now, we didn't want to get too close to that, we want to be able to do, and I'm like, yeah, just tell people you need more time to develop the game. Like, all right, just tell them like the physics of the game, and like, you know what, like it's gonna have a lot of characters on screen at the same time, and that's hard to do. Okay, just be honest with people. Just tell them like, hey, like it takes time, just like everything does. So just let people know, like, shit, instead of just beating around the bush and just like, oh, blah 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 blah. So in other news, Kingdom Hearts 3 showed footage. So footage finally of Kingdom Hearts 3. So the footage they showed, it looked great. I believe they're running the game off of the Unreal Engine 4, which sometimes it can look a little wonky when they translate it into like the cartoonish look, but it looks smooth for the most part. I saw like a little bit that need to be polished off, but it looks good for what they were doing. Like it was moving very smooth. Like when it was a part where Sora was running up the wall and he was bouncing from rock to rock, and it moved so smooth, and I was like, yes, finally some footage. So I think they didn't really give a date. They said 2018, and I'm thinking closer to E3 we're gonna get a real date, because Square Enix is gonna have their own showing at E3, so they're gonna be revealing a lot, probably like the Tomb Raider stuff, hopefully Kingdom Hearts, maybe an update on Final Fantasy 7, maybe talk about some Final Fantasy 7 coming to the Switch, not Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 15 coming to the Switch. But yeah, that was really good. So in closing, I just want to talk about a little bit about Destiny 2 because I mentioned it earlier. Oh wait, I want to talk about Shenmue 3. Shenmue 3 was pushed back to like 2020, man. So they're gonna do a re-release of Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2, and then they're gonna, because the guy's still developing the game, he actually went out and said like, yes, I need some stuff to polish on the game. So I saw the gameplay for this game, and there were no facial expressions on the guy, the main guy, Real. He's like fighting, and his expressions was just like this. I was like, yeah, they need to do some work on that. Like, there need to be some more like, some emotion in his face. But that's kind of a downer. I was kind of like, man, I was hoping to at least have the game by next year, man. Like, but I mean, do what you gotta do to keep the game. As long as the game is great, I will forgive anything else. Like, just like I forgave Zelda when it came out. I was like, man, they pushing Zelda all the way back to the 2017. This is bullshit. Da, 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 da. But when it came out, I was like, all is forgiven. I understand. You developed the game. This game is amazing. I'm sorry. I rushed y'all. And I hope hopefully it's the same thing, because it was the same thing with Final Fantasy 15. And but I want to talk about the Warmind DLC because I've been playing more of it, and I'm actually kind of impressed with it. If you ever played the King's Fall, what is it? The Taken King. King's Fall was the name of the raid in the Taken King. I have a few clips about the new DLC. I don't like that you gave us the same location for the raid 3 times. Like, I'm tired of going back to that raid. I didn't like the first raid. I definitely didn't like the second one. And I'm not even going to play the third raid because it's like you bring me back to the same location. And I was like, that's sloppy game making, first of all. And it's just ignorant to keep making me go back to the same location for a raid that his story had nothing to do with the whatever. All right, so but the things I did like about the DLC was I like that they brought back like exotic missions. Like right now, I'm on an exotic mission to get the Sleeper Stimulant, which was one of my favorite guns from that year. You know, it wasn't a year 1 gun; it was actually year 2 or I don't know. Yeah, year 2 because it was around the Taken King time. But like this one, of course, has a lot to do with the Warmind, and the Warmind, of course, was the one that made Sleeper Stimulant out of the parts of itself. Basically, it looked like a little piece together thing, and oh my god, the gun was amazing, and I like that they put it back in this game. And I think I maybe put like 20 hours into it just doing that exotic mission. So I like that they put that in there. There's a whole bunch of other little things that you gotta look for and find, and the escalation protocols, like the public events they have. It's called a new one. It's called escalation protocol. It's really nice. Like, you gotta get your level up to play it, because one guy was like, "Hey man, you want to play some? Oh, your level's not even up." I was like, "Yeah, I just kind of started playing this again, so my level's not up to point." But like, he gave me his name, and it's like, you know what? Don't worry about it, man. I'll help you out. And that's one of the things I love about the Destiny community and Destiny as a whole, because like a lot of the gamers will always help you out there, and it's kind of made that way where you know you need other people to help you progress through the game. And even when the Sleeper Stimulant mission, exotic mission, like, I need other people to help me out with it. So like, it's awesome that, and even when I'm done, like, I'm probably going to go back and help somebody else with theirs. Like, that's literally how the community goes. Like, and I love it. And I'm still a little, like, don't get me wrong, like, it's still more of the same. So like, this content is nice, but this content is going to dry out in another month. So what content do you bring to bring me back to the game? Because after another month, I'm probably going to be done everything I need to do, and then it's going to be another 6 months before they release more content. So that's the kind of thing about Destiny. It's not that the fact that people don't like it; it's the fact that people don't have enough content to play on it. So like, that's my thoughts on everything, and that is the nerd news for this week. Subscribe, comment, let me know what you think about any of the topics I mentioned today. You can always hit me up on my Twitter page. That's edawg11885. That's EDAWG11885. You can always find me on my Twitter page, Daily Motion, Eric the Brown. All right, you guys enjoy the rest of your nights and day, wherever you are. Peace.